Today on Eagle Nation News, Grant Johnson dives deeper into the world of journalism and discovers how journalists around the nation are perfecting their craft.
Nate Tompkins gives us insight on a $15 million lawsuit involving the famous artist Juice WRLD and which other artist?
And finally, Abigail Smith highlights the spirit leaders and what it takes to take Prosper's pep rallies and games to the next level.
Eagle Nation News starts
right now. Good afternoon, Eagle Nation. Today is Tuesday, October 22nd. I'm Cameron Silva.
And I'm Christina Folsom.
Student journalists have made major strides in recent years to combat censorship and to tell stories of all kinds. But what work goes behind making this happen? Grant Johnson reports on student journalists at the TAGE Fall Fiesta in San Antonio.
Now more than ever, journalism has become a daunting career choice, but journalists all over the country have been equipped with new resources that open more opportunities.
People make more of an effort to go more in depth with what they speak about, and sometimes they choose to do things that are even more on the dangerous side just because anybody does anything for a good story now because that is what sells.
Everyone competes to get the big headlines. But it hasn't always been easy finding the top stories. Vincent Davis is a reporter for the San Antonio Express-News who is not your traditional journalist. Vincent joined his publication after 22 years in the Air Force.
A lot of what we do now was just stuff of dreams. I mean, emails, direct messages, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and it has changed journalism immensely.
Vincent hopes to inspire young journalists to pursue their careers in journalism and use social media to find the stories that connect with the viewer.
It's probably the most important part of what we do because we have to pass on our knowledge to them. But the one thing that I love about working with younger journalists is they master the social media and all the technology now. They're the ones who are going to take this into the future. And I mean, it's like a rocket ship taking off, and we're just along for the ride.
I think social media determines what we write about because social media is what tells us what's relevant, what's irrelevant, what is something that could be a rising story that somebody could cover or something that needs to just drop and we can leave this alone and find something new to write about.
Despite the challenge the new generation of journalists face, social media has created an unprecedented amount of expression for storytelling. I'm Grant Johnson reporting for Eagle Nation News, San Antonio.
Technology shipping giant Amazon has been under fire recently after reportedly shipping expired consumer products such as baby formula and beef jerky, unsettling Amazon users and putting large brands at risk. Regardless of their not-for-resale label, customers have been receiving everything from expired coffee creamer to granola bars. Amazon has made no direct statement thus far.
It is no surprise that the tornado that hit Dallas 2 nights ago was extremely destructive. But 2 Dallas ISD schools are claiming to be at a total loss and will need to be rebuilt. Superintendent Michael Hinojosa announced that the campuses affected are Walnut Hill Elementary School and Cary Middle School. Not only are 2 at a complete loss, but 12 other campuses will remain canceled today while they figure out how to resolve this situation. The aftermath from this storm is devastating, as we can see many trees completely fell over and several houses are destroyed.
We will be sure to keep all those affected in Dallas by the tornadoes in our thoughts. And speaking of destructive weather, we did actually have some pretty rough storms over the past few days. There have been a lot of tornado sirens. I don't know if you actually experienced any of that.
Yeah, the tornado warning 2 nights ago, the night of the tornado, I was so scared. I hate tornadoes, but I am super grateful that nothing actually ended up hitting Prosper.
Exactly.
Yeah, and speaking of spontaneous Texas weather, let's send it over to Annika Hankey with your fast forecast to see what the weather's looking like for the rest of the week.
Thank you, Christina. It is currently 60 degrees with a real feel temperature of 68 degrees and is sunny with calm winds of 2 miles per hour and warming up to today's high of 75. Tomorrow will be even warmer And as we go through the week, we will be seeing colder temperatures and some rain on Thursday and Friday. So make sure to keep an eye on the rain if you are planning on attending the varsity away game against Plano West. As the weekend progresses, we will be seeing those warmer temperatures once again. With your fast forecast, I'm Annika Hankey. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Annika. When we return, find out which other artist is suing Juice WRLD for $15 million and why.
Are you a U.S. citizen who's not a registered felon and are at least 18 years old? Then make sure to register to vote. It's important. It's how democracy works. It's part of being an adult. When you vote, you get a fancy sticker. What's there not to love? But my vote doesn't matter. Yes, it does. It matters a lot at the local and state levels. And hey, guess what? It still matters at the federal level. 537 votes decided Bush versus Gore in 2000. Your vote matters way more than you think. Seriously though, it's your turn to decide your future. Don't waste it. Go to vote.org for more information about voter registration.
Now Nate Tompkins is here in studio with your Talent Talk update brought to you by Corbridge Orthodontics.
After having his first song make it to #1 on Billboard's Hot R&B and Hip Hop Songs chart, Juice WRLD is now being sued for copyright infringement over his breakthrough single, Lucid Dreams. Yesterday, a complaint was filed in U.S. District Court in California. Members of the disbanded rock band Yellowcard claimed that Juice WRLD and his collaborators copied melodic elements from their song from 2006, Hollywood Died. They're filing a $15 million lawsuit against Juice WRLD, and they're also asking for an ownership share on all future exploitations related to the song. Furthermore, the band claims that in addition to recording revenue, they are owed damages from Juice WRLD's concert tours and other public appearances, given that the, quote, overwhelming success of Lucid Dreams launched the rapper's career and provided him opportunities to tour and perform around the world. The band also included a chart noting many common elements between the two songs, stating that the work extends well beyond the possibility of coincidence and can only reasonably be the result of an act of copying. Be sure to head over to our Twitter at Eagle Nation News and let us know what you think of Juice WRLD being sued for arguably his most successful song. Well, that's all the time I have for you today. Back to you at the desk.
You see them at the pep rallies. You hear them chanting at the football games.
Abigail Smith has more on what being a spirit leader entails.
Spirit leaders play an important role at Prosper High School, and the work that goes into this may be more than what you think.
We go to all the football games, and we do a lot of the cheers and dances, and we lead the student section in all the pep rallies. I think spirit leaders are important just because it takes other people sometimes to hype up others, and I think it's a really important job just to interact with all the students, to have those leaders who get everyone hyped up. And I mean, it's a tradition, so we always do it. My favorite part is the energy. It's honestly a different feeling. Friday nights are always amazing. The football games it's just an adrenaline rush every time.
For many students, football games entail a lot more than just watching the game, and spirit leaders are no exception.
It's very different. Right after the pep rallies, we try to rush in a quick nap and eat, and then we go straight into the football game with our overalls on, and we just get ready for all the students to be there, and well, we're just high energy for the next 3 hours.
For Eagle Nation News, I'm Abigail Smith. Prosper.
Now let's send it over to Maggie Hale with your Game Time Sports Update.
Tonight, Prosper will be taking on Plano West in volleyball. They're going to play at home at 7 p.m. Currently, Prosper Volleyball is 9-0, and unlike the Plano West football team, their volleyball team is 8-1. You need to make sure that you're out at this game because it does decide who will be the district champions. If you want to hear more sports like this, be sure to tune in every day for a recap of sports from this week.
That's all the time we have for you today. For Eagle Nation News, I'm Christina Folsom.
And I'm Cameron Silva. Live long and prosper.